If you're over 40 and your belly feels harder, thicker, or impossible to lose no matter what you try, you're not imagining it. Belly fat after 40 is different. Today, we're going to connect the science step by step so you understand what type of belly fat you actually have, why crunches alone don't work, and how to use strategic nutrition, oxygen control, and beginner-friendly calisthenics to finally target stubborn fat the smart way. Before we begin, tell us your age and where you're watching from in the comments. We read and reply to every single one. Now, let's start with something simple. What type of belly fat you have? The pinch test. Before trying to lose belly fat, you need to know what kind you're dealing with. There are two main types. Subcutaneous fat, the soft, pinchable fat under the skin. Visceral fat, the deeper fat surrounding your internal organs. Here's the quick pinch test. If you can pinch it easily and it feels soft, it's mostly subcutaneous. If your belly feels firm, rounded, and hard, especially deeper inside, that may indicate higher visceral fat. Subcutaneous fat is frustrating, but usually less dangerous. Visceral fat is metabolically active. It's linked to inflammation, insulin resistance, and higher cardiovascular risk. And this leads to an important question. Visceral fat explained. Why crunches don't work. If your belly feels hard, crunches alone will not fix it. Why? Because visceral fat sits behind the abdominal wall, underneath the muscle. You cannot spot reduce deep fat with isolated exercises. Research consistently shows fat loss happens systemically. That means your whole body must burn energy for visceral fat to shrink. That's why doing 200 crunches a day may improve muscle tone, but not reduce belly size. So, if crunches aren't the solution, why does belly fat become so stubborn after 40? Why belly fat becomes stubborn after 40? After 40, estrogen levels gradually shift. This hormonal change encourages more central fat storage. At the same time, muscle mass naturally declines. Insulin sensitivity decreases. Stress hormones may rise. Less muscle means a lower resting metabolism. Reduced insulin sensitivity means your body stores energy more easily. So belly fat isn't just about calories. It's about hormones, muscle, and metabolism working together, which brings us to something strategic, not dieting, nutrition with purpose. The diet code, eat these colors. Think of belly fat like internal rust. Oxidative stress contributes to inflammation. And fat storage, carotenoids, the pigments that give vegetables bright colors, act like internal rust removers. Focus on these colors. Orange, carrots, sweet potatoes. Red, tomatoes, red peppers. Dark green, spinach, kale. Yellow, pumpkin, squash. These plant compounds support metabolic health and help reduce inflammation markers linked to visceral fat. But solid food is only part of the equation. There's also a liquid strategy. The liquid key, matcha and fat metabolism. Matcha contains catechins, especially EGCG, which have been studied for supporting fat oxidation. Some research suggests green tea compounds may slightly increase energy expenditure and influence fat metabolism. Instead of sugary drinks, try 1 cup of unsweetened matcha earlier in the day. Avoid late-night caffeine. It's not magic, but it supports the system you're building. Now that nutrition is supporting your metabolism, we move to something even more powerful: oxygen. The oxygen trick. Why breathless cardio fails. Many women believe the harder they breathe, the more fat they burn. But extremely breathless cardio relies heavily on carbohydrates for fuel. Fat burning happens most efficiently when oxygen supply matches exercise intensity. That's why steady, controlled movement often supports fat oxidation better than all-out exhaustion. And this is where the talk test comes in. The talk test for cardio. If you can speak in short sentences while exercising, you're likely in a fat-burning zone. If you can't talk at all, your intensity may be too high. For women over 40, moderate intensity calisthenics using the talk test helps preserve muscle, protect joints, support fat metabolism, reduce cortisol spikes. Now, let's bring everything together into one simple flow. Beginner calisthenics flow at home. No equipment. Perform 3 rounds, 30 to 40 seconds per movement. Stay within talk test range. Bodyweight squats. Build lower body muscle. Increasing resting metabolism. Incline push UPS against a wall or counter. Engage upper body and core without joint strain. Standing knee drives. Raise heart rate gently and safely. Glute bridges. Strengthen the posterior chain. Essential for metabolic health. This full body activation supports systemic fat loss, including visceral fat. You now understand the type of belly fat you're dealing with, why crunches alone don't work, how hormones shift after 40, which foods support metabolic health, why oxygen balance matters, and how to train smarter, not harder. This isn't about extreme dieting. It's about strategic habits that work with your body instead of fighting it. Comment below which habit you'll try first. We love hearing your experiences. Like this video if you found it helpful. Subscribe and turn on notifications so you don't miss our next guide on simple, practical ways to take care of your body after 40. Your body changes when your habits do, and it's never too late to start. Thanks for watching.